Tell us, what are the circumstances that led to your eventual arrest, detention, and eventual imprisonment?
Okay, yes, it was on a Thursday morning, on 29th day of October 2020. I went to the bank to collect my certificate of account because I wanted to use it for an official online
A
business.
statement of account.
Yes, a
Okay.
statement of account. So, but after that, on my way back home, I got to Ordeal Local Government Council and some men stopped me. They said that I recognized my face as one of the leaders of the NSAS. And truly, I participated during the NSAS. I can't say no to that. But where I participated during the NSAS was so calm. It was peaceful. There was no destruction of anything. There was no fight. Nobody complained. So this thing I'm saying now happened a week after the protest. So they said they recognized my face. I told them, what did I do? They say, I am one of the NSAS people that they don't like. So just like that, they started torturing me. They started manhandling me. And from there, they dragged me to a vehicle and took me to a police station at Ojo police station. So when we got there, I was trying to make use of my phone to see if I can contact any member of my family. They took away my phone from me, then collected every other belongings, and refused to even hear from me about what happened. What if I really was the person, or if I destroyed anything, or I caused anything. They didn't want to hear from me. So from there, the police joined those boys to beat me up.
Right there at the police
Because
station.
yes, they said they were angry because their station was destroyed during the protest. But that wasn't none of my business. I didn't know anything about that. I was not there when such thing happened. So because of that anger, they didn't allow me to even say a word. They joined and started beating me. No, dragged me to the cell. Then after that day, the next day, they brought me out for me to write write a statement. And they were like forcing me to write this statement against my own, against myself, which I declined. I said, no, I can't. I cannot write against myself.
Were
So
you allowed any legal representation? Were you allowed a lawyer? Were you allowed access to talk to your lawyer?
during then, there was nothing like involvement of any lawyer. Already they took my phone from me. I even begged them so that I can contact my family. They did not allow me to do that. So from there, I later wrote my own statement in the police station. But I am sure that the day I was brought to the court, that was not the statement that were used in giving me my charges. That was not the statement they used. So after then, we spent 2 days in the police station there. They now transferred us, I think that was on 30th of October, to Panti. We were like 6 boys, and all the 6 boys are NSAS protesters. So we were taken to Panti, already my stuff they took from me, they still recorded it in Panti. They took it there and handed it over to the station there. So then after, they took us inside their cell there. Still refused that I can't make use of my phone. I have to beg those ones there still. They did not allow me to make use of my phone.
So tell us, what was the experience like in Panti when you arrived Panti?
When we got to Panti, in fact, it was terrible. This is my first experience of prison in life, and it's a kind of story that I will never forget in my life. It's terrible. It's so breaking in the heart. So why they're in the Panti, the way they even rushed me inside the prison, It's something new to me.
in the cell.
Yes, they started beating me. Just immediately I got inside the cell. That I started feeling hands all over my body, everywhere. And when all these things were going on, I had a surgery. I had a surgery that I'm still passing through. Like I am supposed to, you know, take on the surgery for like 2.5 years before proper healing.
Hmm.
So that was what the doctor told me. But I was still on the process of the healing before this arrest happened.
So, from Panti, what happened?
Well, exactly what happened, the beating they gave me there came and I still activated the wound of my surgery again.
So, were you transferred to any correctional center after Panti?
Correctional center like the prison?
Exactly.
Yes, of course. It was from Panti they took us to the prison. But before then, I was taken to the court from Panti there. We went to the court, I think on 2nd of November. 2nd of November. So when we went there to the court, that was my first time of appearing in a court. So that was where they gave us the charges. And I was so surprised, so shocked that when they were reading the charges, what they only asked us to say is yes or no. But the charges...
What were the charges?
Yes, the charges they were reading was something unbearable. I can't just keep quiet hearing those things because I don't know about it. Armed robbery is what I've never done in my life.
Those were part of the charges?
Yes, armed robbery, arson, and the rioting. There was nothing of such. I did nothing of such. So I wonder, when they were reading it, I just raised my hand and asked, please, if saying yes, that I understand what you are reading, means that I did those things, then my answer is no. I did no such. I was not part of any armed robbery or any rioting.
As at this time, you are not given a lawyer?
Even at that time, I have no lawyer. But unknowingly to me, my brother had heard about the arrest. Even though before he didn't appear in the court, I didn't see him. But there was a lawyer that came, but the lawyer that came was not given an opportunity to discuss one-on-one with me. So I was unable to explain to the lawyer what
the circumstances that
transpired, what happened, this, that. We've not said a word to each other. I just met him in the court there. And so because of that, he didn't know, he did not know how to start the story. You know, how to do the defense. He don't know how to start. So that was what happened, that because there was no serious defendant, that's why the judge just passed on the charges that
you should be remanded in prison.
I should be remanded in prison. That's all. So now they took. Then there was one boy they joined with me as my casemate, which I met him in the police station at Ordeal there. I didn't know him before. It was in the prison I met him. So, but they joined both of us as casemates. Okay, they now returned us back to Panti. Then the next day, as early as 2 a.m. in the midnight, that was when they transferred us to Kirikiri prison. As early as 2 a.m.
So tell us, what happened? What was your experience at Kirikiri?
Okay, why on our way to Kirikiri there, even inside the Black Maria, another experience that I've never had before. Group of boys, I believe they must be cultists. They know themselves. So one of them noticed that the day we went to court, that a friend came to me and gave me some money. So one of them recognized me in the vehicle and told others. They started beating me that I should bring out the money. Can you imagine that? Fellow inmates. So I had nothing to do, although I have the money there, so I have to bring it out for them and free myself. So they left. That's how they left me. Until when we got to Kirikiri there, they brought us and took us to a punishment cell. That was where we first started our prison story. They took us to a punishment cell. From there, we spent 5 days. Then they brought us back to welcome cell. There, they charged us with so much amount. They were just making requests of money, everything about money, just for you to be safe, because I've never experienced that kind of life before. There will be there are so many threats, so much threat, telling you. So then from the welcome cell, they now took us to the general cell where I remained till I was released.
Did you face any serious challenges? Tell us, do you remember the darkest moments or periods you had while in prison at Kirikiri?
There are so many dark moments. But the darkest of it all is every night that approaches, it's like a nightmare. I must say, it's just by the miracle from God that I survived this journey. Because it's not of my own. You have to encounter infections inside prison. There are different diseases. I'm saying this today because I survived it. If you go there, you will see that there are some people that you cannot look at them twice. Funny now, but it's terrible. It's so terrible. They told me that they are going to burn me at night. The day I came in, just like as if I will go through initiation. Seriously, it's 4 of us. We were 4 guys that were pushed inside the same cell together, and all these 4 of us are SARS protesters, different areas. So that was where I met those ones again. They are different from the people I met in the Panti and the Ordeal police station. So that moment, that night, they read their law for us. And while reading the law, you will have like 2 men at your back to be laying hand on you. Your voice must be louder than anything else. As they are saying as the reader is reading the law, your own is to say, yes, sir. You need to comply. And you listen to the law, because anyone you fail is a problem to you. So, but for me, somebody that has no experience before, I will not lie to you. I failed some, because some are very difficult to keep. In prison, sometimes ordinary laugh, when you just that you laugh, there's a kind of laugh you laugh, you are in trouble. Just that you laugh, you will explain why you are laughing.
And then you'll be beaten up.
That is the point.
All right.
So that night was my worst night.
In prison, a lot of people break up. Some will lose their mind. They give up.
Sure.
Some will even commit suicide.
Yes.
Tell us, how are you able to hold on to yourself?
Well, actually, before all this stuff, I know within myself that, I don't know how to put it, but I have to say that I've been a strong person in life. I've been in some certain issues that made me to, endure the whole thing. I have this belief in me that with God by my side, I will make it. So that is the belief I had. I believe in myself that this is happening, because before, from the initial time, I was not happy, and I was blaming, I don't know, I was blaming everybody, and I was confused. I was so angry at myself and also at the government for putting me through the punishment for no reason. But I still continue to, keep going and give myself courage.
Now that you are free, what's freedom? What does freedom feel like for you, and what has been like after you returned to?
Well, there's nobody in life that does not like freedom. You know, the worst thing in a man's life is deprive him of his freedom. It's like being in prison, just like that. So freedom is like, a fresh experience again. It's like returning back to life. Someone who was lost coming back to life. I can't just I can't express it enough. It's something that I have to thank God for. Because I believe that what happened for a reason, and I have to, free my mind and continue life.
Do you sleep well at night?
Well, I do now, but I remember that the first day I came out of prison, the first night I spent outside reminded me that I was no longer in the prison. The night was I have to wait, because normally we wake up twice a night. Every night we wake up 2 times. We wake up 2 a.m. to brush. We also wake up 5 a.m. to pray. And when you wake up 5 a.m., no more sleeping. They will normally tell you that there is no sleeping in jail. So that's it.
Your case and what happened to you is one of the worst examples of injustice that most youths go through as far as this EndSARS protest was concerned. Do you think that those who put you behind bars deserve to be punished for what they did to you? And are you thinking of seeking compensation or suing the government for what they did to you?
Well, I must say, this question is very, it's something, it has to come with a careful answer. The question you asked me now, the answer I have for it is that I can't sue the government.
But do you know you can actually do that for me?
Yes, but that should be in a country where we exercise our rights normally. That should be in a country where you can stand and say something and still stand. I don't think that will be able to happen here. So the only thing is to lie low against the government and seek for compensation, because for passing through what I went through, for what I did not know, for what I didn't do, is, it deserves some respect and some compensation too for the time delay, because this thing has cost me a lot now. Just like, look at the phone I'm using. I lost my phone, still in the Panti police station there. My house key, my shop key. I have no job now.
What happened to your businesses?
The owner of the shop says they have replaced me with someone, and my landlord complaining that it was not up to 2 months when I went to prison and my house expired. So all this stuff now, I'm just hanging around with a friend now, just to cope. So I just want them, if there's any way a help can come, just to help me stand again. That's the only thing I can appreciate.
For earlier on, you mentioned the fact that there were others who were EndSARS protesters who are also still, languishing in prison at this point in time.
Exactly.
I mean, what advice do you want to give to them?
You know, that is the one thing else. Again, I remember in my own cell back there, we have like 16 boys that are answers protesters. Yes, not to mention the whole yard, because we are many, many. So, but my advice to those guys is just that they should keep their hopes high. You know, no one should give up. The worst part of it is to, try to do some stupid stuff. They should try and hold on, because I believe that they will still receive the same freedom I had, I saw. So they should keep on with the fight. And I'm also advising the youth of the nation to stand up for their rights. We are we all have equal rights in this country, and we should all share the equal rights together. I don't know the reason why some will make some to hide, not to come out and say their feelings because of one thing or the other. But I am urging those people not to be scared of what might happen. That is not what is going to solve the situation. You need to come out and say how you feel, how you are, how it touches you. Say your mind so that even the government will hear from you. Because I believe that everybody in this citizen has his or her own right to opinion.